Hi everyone, and welcome to this month's video for Stamping Like It's Hot. This is the Scrapbooking Photographer. My name's Linda, and today the challenge for Stamping Like It's Hot is to use a household item to stamp with. So thinking about things that I could stamp with, I was thinking of something that I could put the ink to and something that would have an interesting pattern when it was transferred from the item to the paper. So what I am going to use is a boot. So I think the sole of this boot is quite attractive really. So I'm going to use that, and it's along with the theme of a time I went away and did an awful lot of walking around an island. Up steps and hills and all sorts. This was at the beginning of one of the long days, and this was at the end, and it was incredibly fun, and it was a lot of great photography, but it was a long day and lots of walking, and these boots saw me through. They were fantastic. So let's see what we can put together. I thought, because we're starting at the beginning, nice and fresh in the morning, and then at the end of the day, and you can just see a little bit of the pink there, so I'd say it probably was the same day, even though this trip was a few days long. So I'm thinking that I'm going to do something like that and put a boot here, the front of the boot here and the back of the boot here, and then pretty it up. So what I'm going to do is mark where I want those photos to go, and I'm not even going to trim them. I will mount that one at least, possibly the others as well, but we're going to come in kind of there and there, there and there. So it will be part of a double page layout with a bit of more information on the other side, but this is just a fun page to use my boots as stamps, which is a great idea. So I'm going to put the Versamat over the other way. I'm going to bring this piece of paper, and now I have already tried, as you can see, just to make sure that it would transfer the ink properly, and it will. So now I know where I want it, I'll ink it up. So I'm using the Close to My Heart Mocha, which is a dark brown, and down in this part I want the front half of the boot. So I'm just going to rub the ink all over here. And obviously I'm going to have to wash them before I put them back in my wardrobe. Okay. So I'm going to go direct to the paper, so hopefully it works first time. So this is going to be the front. Okay, so again, I had to clean these quite a bit. They had lots of grass stuck in them. I use them heaps in the winter. And I'll just do a little bit of the front as well in case that comes out. Okay, and that's the line there, so we're going to go alrighty, and then it's just a matter of prettying this page up. Back to just having the Versamat. Now, because I have come in a bit from the side, what I'm thinking I might do is just trim a ½ an inch off a couple of sides to give it a frame of the mocha. So there's a couple of things to do there. One is to take the ½ an inch off the sides. Now I could do 1 inch on two sides, but we're getting a bit close on here, and I think it will be more even if I actually do ½ an inch on each side. Okay, and then for the insert, because we're coming in 1/2 inch, I'm going to play it safe and go to 1 inch. And with it at the top, I'm just going to come down 1 inch and then basically gut the middle of this piece of mocha. Okay, so that gives us a nice piece to use for some mounting of the photos, and that will be our frame around the outside. Come back in. And our photos, so now that we've come in from the side, I'm just going to cut them a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit off that side and a little bit off this side just to even them up a bit. So there wasn't much room over here to take anything off, so I've taken it all off the other side. Let's pop that there, and this one here. I might just come in a little bit from the outside just to give them that look of being equally framed around the outside there. And then this one, I'm just going to shave a little bit off so that it fits nicely in there. So that's better, and we'll mount that in a piece of what we cut out from the middle of the mocha. Okay, so I can stick these down now. So this gap here that's been left between the shoe is actually quite a good place to put our title. So I have cut out with my Cuttlebug the word walking. The title's going to be "These boots were made for walking." I had meant to take a photo of the boots as well to include, but I didn't get to that. So the letters fit perfectly, and that was a total fluke. And I've left the B in between just to give me a guide for when I stamp the word "these." It's not all going to fit, so I do end up using a different font for the "were made" that you can see there. So I'll stamp that "these boots were made for walking," and then go back and put in the 2 little E's that we need for that. So then I just want to add a few leaves and things, and this is from the new Close to My Heart Sprigs and Leaves stencil. So I'm just going to brush over them with a little bit of toffee on toffee paper, so tone on tone, and then I'll come in with a little bit of mocha and do the highlighted parts. And I'm just using a scrap of toffee paper, and I'm going to put it through the Cuttlebug and get the leaves. It's actually designed to make a slimline card, but of course you get all these little bits of leaves that are quite useful for all sorts of decorations. So I'm just playing and fiddling where they're going to go, and then when I'm happy I'll stick them down and get a little journaling box ready to pop up in that other gap on the left hand side. I'm really looking forward to seeing what other people come up with for this topic of stamping with a household item. So I'm sure there'll be loads of creativity to share amongst the other videos on this playlist, so make sure you check them all out. When I look at the page after I've finished my journaling, I decide it just needs a little bit more of a lift, so I'm going to go over the soles of the boots with a little bit of my toffee blending brush, which just helps separate those soles of the boots from the titles and things. Okay, so that's my contribution to Stamping Like It's Hot with a household item. Enjoy everybody else's videos and happy crafting, everyone.